Hey guys, back with another video, and in this one I just want to go over all 6 mythical weapons in Drehmal v2.1. We're going to start off with Ascendance. Ascendance. The ultimate goal of the Tri-Moon Theocracy was to form a strong connection with the moon of Lodar, home of the deities. This blade was the crux of that plan and can channel the power of the divine moon itself. Holy Moonlight. Press your drop item key to fire an armor-piercing wave of weakening moonlight. It has plus 6 max health, 50% knockback resistance, minus 0.2 speed, 16 attack speed, and 1 attack. 16 attack damage and 1 attack speed, actually. So let's attack some stuff. As we can see, you move around pretty slowly. You can kill something with 20 health with a crit, but it only does 16 damage, so you can only really, you have to 2-shot mobs. But we can see here, I just used Holy Moonlight, and it went through all, the enemies that it touched. It has about a 3-block radius. The weapon itself is pretty decent. You get plus 3 hearts, so you can stay alive for a little bit longer, but the 0.02 speed reduction, it really slows things down a little bit. It is a good balance. Like, the sword is balanced pretty well. The speed reduction isn't too bad, but you see I just used Holy Moonlight again, and it went through all of those enemies. It does about 10 damage if I remember correctly, and it also has some unique abilities, as we'll see right here. First off, it just kind of goes, super long and wide. I'll show you in a second after I'm busy healing up, but let me just shoot it. And yeah, you can just see it just keeps going in a kind of a wave formation. I just want to shout out Hot Elbows. He's the guy that made that. Join the Discord if you want to see all this stuff. But it also has another unique ability where it bounces off walls, so that's pretty unique. Anyway, moving on. Next up, we have the mythical blade itself, Frenzy. Many centuries ago, Sod was a cruel, war-torn land where the grass was stained with blood, and an incredibly powerful arcanist channeled all of Sod's rage into a single catalyst, Frenzy. Fueled by the power of generations of bloodshed, this blade will rip and tear through everything in the realm. Fatal Rampage. Killing an enemy grants you a damage buff stacking up to 3 times. Has minus 8 health, 0.04 plus movement speed, 11 attack damage, and 2 attack speed. So let's get into it. Basically, you can see me moving around pretty quickly here. It does not one-shot 20 health creatures on a crit, but it will 2-shot any 20 health creature. Obviously, it does 11 damage. We can see there's Fatal Rampage. It's active. You can tell it's active because of the giant red blood circle that's beneath you. I'm trying to show that to you in person. It has minus 8 max health, which really does a damper. That's 4 hearts taken away. So you're really spongy while you use this thing, but you're also quick, so you can get out of the way. And there I am throwing my sword. The health potions are very useful to kind of keep your health up, but I'm just waiting for Fatal Rampage to come back. And in the meantime, we can just watch as I slay all of these zombie piglins with this weapon's crazy DPS. Has a 2 attack speed, 11 damage, so I'm not quite sure what that is in DPS, but I think maybe 22. That's my guess. 22 damage per second, which is pretty well. Oh, but here we come into showing the Fatal Frenzy again. And it's just a really cool red circle on the ground that gets bigger as you kill more and more enemies. Now we will be moving on into Malevolentia. Has Fire Aspect 4. Male cast aside this mythological weapon after Virtua went dormant. It is said that he had lost his purpose and abandoned his palace, perhaps residing with the other deities upon Lodar. Burnt Regis. Hold down crouch to deploy a projectile deflecting flame shield. 14 max health, 100% knockback resistance, minus 0.404 movement speed, 17 attack damage, 0.8 attack speed, unbreakable. So it does give you a lot of health, but you're really slow. See that? -4. You kind of just have to hop around if you want to get anywhere. It does one-shot crit 20 health enemies, but because of the slow attack speed, it takes a second to 2-shot. Although it does do a lot of damage, it's useful. But anyway, you see me just kind of jumping around here. I'm going to try to use Burnt Aegis with these enemies. I'm not sure if piglins get burnt very well because they're just kind of going through the fire. I guess one of them got set in fire there, but I'm going to kind of hop around, and this is actually really embarrassing because I kind of get clapped by these guys in this clip. The weapon's very slow. It's not the best for fighting a lot of enemies at once, but what it is really good at, as you'll see here, is stopping projectiles with the Burnt Aegis ability. Burnt Aegis is also really good at just closing down hallways, stopping things from coming through very well. You can see he gets stuck in the Burnt Aegis and he's not really moving. He gets hit by one of his friends out of there, but all those projectiles just got stopped by that shield, and it lasts for a solid amount of time as well, maybe 15 seconds or something like that. But after that, I could just go and crit and clear up these guys. Slow attack speed and slow movement speed are obnoxious, but it does good damage. I'd say overall one of the weaker weapons. But moving into Oblivion, we have Sweeping Edge 9. To be the creator of everything, one has to be the creator of nothing. The existence of true Oblivion is one of the few things we cannot hope to comprehend. Force of Nothing. Press your drop item key to pick up enemies and drain their life force. Press shift to launch held foes. Has plus 0.03 movement speed, 12 attack damage, 1.3 attack speed, and it's unbreakable. So let's kind of show this off. First off, I'm going to show Force of Nothing. I didn't actually throw him there, but I just picked him up, and it will actually kind of like a force choke, like drain their health over time. I'm not sure how much damage it does per second, but it's decent enough to where you hold them there for maybe 10 seconds or so and they'll die. But what it's really good for is what you'll see in about 15 seconds is just kind of yeeting enemies away. The Sweeping Edge 9 plus the 12 damage and the 1.3 attack speed allow it to be really actually efficient for just maintaining lots of enemies at once. It does very similar damage across the board to multiple enemies, but you can see me just kind of huck this piglin. Look at him go over there. It's actually a lot of fun, and this weapon's really rewarding, really fun feeling. Has a bit long cooldown if you ask me, but overall very rewarding, and you move around quickly. Moving on to Calamity. No mortal has ever come close to slaying a skull beast, meaning the only one deployed in the desolation has long since died of natural causes. Osane happened upon its remains and became fanatically obsessed. They carved numerous weapons of immense strength out of its calamitous skeleton, with the claws being the most powerful. True Catastrophe. Hold crouch and then jump to channel the power of the skull beast, releasing Untold Ruin upon foes. Has minus 4 max health, 0.075 movement speed, 8 attack damage, and 2.4 attack speed. It does more, I think it does about the same damage as a diamond sword, but it attacks way faster. You can see that I just crit damage. It can 2 times crit stuff. 20 health mobs, you get 2 crits on them and they'll die. But look, I can kind of just go around this train of zombie piglins because of how fast you move with this thing and just keep swiping at them and they'll eventually be picked off. But here I'm going to show the Calamity's ability. You really just fly up in the air with a black smoke below you and slam. That one's a lot of fun, and it's actually very useful for getting around. If you have to scale a mountain, you just use this weapon and you literally just float up and you don't take fall damage if you use it right. In certain cases, there's a glitch where after you hit the ground, it will launch you up like way high in the sky, and you'll probably die of fall damage, but that's rare, and there's kind of a technique to not do it. But anyway, let's use it again. And you can see it just takes a little bit of time to charge, and then you fly up and kaboom. Just kind of decimate everything on you. Really rewarding, really fun. Now moving on to the last one is Mythbreaker. It has sharpness 10, which is 5.5 damage. The heart calls for a new beginning. The crown cries for a change of hands. Treat this primordial blade as a reminder that he must be usurped, that he controls your destiny. Time break. Hold down crouch to defy time, greatly slowing all enemies within range. It has minus 4 max health, 30 attack damage, and 0.7 attack speed, and it's unbreakable. Mythbreaker, truly one of the best weapons of this game. Let's use it out. Because it does 30 damage, you don't even need to crit to one-shot 20 health enemies, and if I want to get all these piglins to follow me, I'm going to have to punch them with something else. So watch this. So time field's active, you just kind of crouch for a second and it'll pop out. You see those little dots. That's effectively, that's the range that time break is in, and boom. This weapon has technically, because it has naturally on it sharpness 10, it does 35.5 damage. So you just sweep, and I mean, it one-shots enemies, and it'll two-shot sweeped enemies, I'm fairly certain. You can kind of just see me whacking stuff there really fast. But we're going to zoom so that I can get time break back open. So here we go, and then watch. I just kind of crouch for just a second or so, and it's active. The animation actually seems to be glitched. Normally it shows all the dots kind of spreading out, but they just appeared there. But you can see it work just, you know, perfectly. Slows things down. It's pretty good for mobs that chase you. It's not super good for ranged mobs. The skeletons are obnoxious, but hey, it does 30 damage. Overall, pretty great. Anyway, that's the end of the video, and I just want to thank you guys all for watching and to tune into the next one. And make sure to check out Drehmal. I'll have a link in the description. And thanks for watching. Anyway, peace.